Weird Realities explores the paranormal, preternatural, and supernatural worlds that surround us. Here we delve into those topics that challenge us to think outside the limitations of realism, where we test the boundaries of imagination and are forced to think outside the confines and restrictions of what is normal. We are the creators, the writers, the artists, and the insane. Welcome to our Weird Realities.
Happy Thursday, everybody. This is Hadley, and I am here with Rich and Scott. We don't have names tonight. We are all incognito. No one thinks that's funny. I want y'all to know on our setup video that I put out the other day, I said bad mamma jamma, and no one said anything about it. I thought one of y'all would have laughed.
It's bad mamma jamma.
I said Becky was a bad mamma jamma.
Yeah, but I'm used to Southern talk. I lived with a Southerner for 10 years.
That's not Southern talk. That's like jive talk from the 70s, Scott.
Oh, well.
Don't you remember that song, She's a Bad Mamma Jamma?
Oh.
Maybe not. Maybe it is a Southern thing. I thought everyone knew that song.
I apparently Southern accent.
There's a reference to it in the movie The Replacements. Keanu Reeves movie. He's a football player. It's a good movie. Look at this bad mamma jamma.
What's happening with Scott?
Oh, no, he's frozen.
What?
You're frozen. You look like an alien.
I'm here.
You're still frozen, and you still look like, and you're throwing your hands up. Yeah, you're about 5 seconds behind and very, very slow.
There he is. There's Alan.
Dr. Professor Gamboa.
Hey.
There he is.
Sorry, my computer was being dumb.
Computers are dumb.
They are. D-U-M.
Dumb.
Are we live?
We're live.
Oh.
Tony I is here. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Evening,
I was saying that I had made the comment that Becky was a bad mamma jamma on our little setup video earlier this week, and no one said anything. Oh my goodness, is that Meatball?
That's Meatball. Hey,
well,
no,
we're going to do this. Wait a minute. We're going off black cats.
Hey.
All this UFO talk has got Scott Baker in the...
She doesn't care tonight.
Well, this show usually doesn't have a lot of pussy on it.
What? Did you really just say that?
Oh, boy.
And she went over and behind me.
You got a dirty mind, Allie.
We can't post at least I can't.
Scott, you sound like you're making love to a monkey. What's going on?
Yeah. Clap to nerd. What are you doing?
What's the hashtag stays?
Turn off whatever you've got running in the background, Scott.
I don't have anything running in the background.
Weird.
Oh, well, everything just got better for me. I see you.
Okay.
You know what? It's that pussy cat that got in the way.
Correct.
Yeah, that's it. It's that bad talk. You're gonna get his band.
Oh, there it is. Thanks, Mike.
Are we good? Are we technically good now?
Technically good. Yeah.
I think the UFO is gone from Scott's house, so it's all right.
Yeah, but they left. They left a visitor. Now I'm bleeding from like 7 or 8 places thanks to the cat and the dog.
Yeah, you were pro.
Well, Mike Lewis missed me. He did not like my cousin, Scadley.
Yeah, I know.
That scandalous woman.
She had a weird accent.
Interesting evening.
She had lovely hair, though.
Weird accent, though. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know where that accent was from.
Not
It's
Mississippi.
from the South. Southern New England, but it was from the South.
South Boston.
All right, guys. So, y'all want to get started?
Sure.
Let's do it.
I say we do it in a chronological order and start with Becky, 2020.
Yeah.
All this plan.
All right. Does anyone want to open up on that? Anybody
Yeah,
want to?
you guys do it because I have things to say.
You have things to say?
Go ahead, Alan.
All right. Now, Becky, this is a weird movie. I saw it I think last year, year before last. And what drew me in was Kevin James. I'm a big Kevin James fan. And I love The King of Queens. That's a classic sitcom. So I thought, okay, I'll watch this show. It's got Joel McHale in it, another comedic actor. I thought this is going to be funny, right? Well, it did have humor in it, but Kevin James and Joel McHale were the straight guys in this. And Lulu Wilson plays Becky, which she's Joel McHale's daughter. And they go to this cabin, and there's this Aryan Brotherhood gang that's looking for this key to open this something up that, it's not really explained what it is. And they end up keeping the family hostage. This is like a bloody version of Knock at the Door without the apocalypse.
Yeah.
They capture the family. They torture them. Becky gets loose. And then she starts to exact her revenge on the captors. And it's a bloody good time. I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't know what I was expecting from it. But it was great. It was a great little B. It was a B movie.
Yeah.
Max. So, can anybody got anything to add to it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me go.
Okay.
Simon Pegg was originally scheduled to be the villain in this movie.
Really?
Right.
Yes. Which would have been a totally different movie completely.
Yeah.
But Kevin James was announced, and just so y'all know that this was his first dramatic role and his first time to play a villain, which I think he knocked it out of the park.
Oh, he did great.
I kind of love-hate relationship with the Becky movie because I really didn't like Becky. She was not, I didn't have buy-in with her in the beginning. And I felt like there's a lot more to the story than what we got. Like you said, like with the key, and when there was just like little hints of stuff. My number one complaint is about the dogs. They did not utilize the dogs in any way, shape, or form in a manner in which I thought was appropriate. I did not like to see, if you're like me, you love dogs, and seeing one of them be unlived in the very beginning just kind of set the tone for me. I didn't really like that. This movie does have a lot of very graphic violence in it. It was extreme. It was funny. It's a very dark humor. And I really thought it was like a really good match because of the quirkiness of it. And I love revenge films, but I thought that it was a good match with Twisted Metal. So to me, it seemed like a good time to kind of do it all together. But overall, this movie for me is pretty middle of the road. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't have the only thing redeemable about Becky for me was the dogs, her love for her dogs.
Well, that's the most I've heard you say about a movie in a long time. Non-stop.
Anyway. Huh.
Yeah. Rich?
Right. So, let me preface my evisceration of this movie with, I liked it. I thought it was okay. Moving up through the beginning of it and going forward, I didn't want to like it because the kid's a little shit. Becky is a little shit. That said, once the ball got rolling, like Hadley said, Kevin James absolutely knocks this out of the park. And it was the only reason I wanted to watch the movie in the first place, was just to see him play a bad guy. And he really did it great. He plays this big Aryan asshole that wants to just get what he wants. He needs this key. And we kind of find out in the second movie what the key is for, but not what it does. But this movie, it wasn't slow, but it was poorly paced. It didn't go the way I wanted it to go, which was another thing. And it's just a slasher movie, but the slasher's the good guy, and which is pretty much every revenge movie. John Wick is a revenge movie, I guess. No slasher, but in this movie, it's basically let's figure out the best and weirdest way to dice somebody into cubes and show everybody how cool we are by killing someone. And you know, when it's the bad guys, nobody cares. They're like, yep, that guy deserved it, and they do. One guy goes out. Came out in 2020. If you haven't seen it, spoilers coming. One guy gets stabbed in the neck with a ruler. Brutal. Kevin James gets stabbed in the eye with a key, and his freaking eyeball is hanging out on his cheek, and he's like this. Best part of the movie, he's talking to this guy. He's like, yeah, one of his buddies, like, oh, you gotta cut it, just cut it off. And the guy finds these little kid scissors. They're like the blades are like this, and he's cutting on his freaking optic nerve, and it's not coming off. It was brutal. I really liked the big guy. I thought I've seen him in a few other things. And
Robert Mallet.
What's his name?
Robert Mallet or
Robert Mallet.
He was in Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. He was in Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Is that what you said?
He was that, big guy they were fighting down in the sewer.
I don't remember.
He was also in
300.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I liked him. I thought his character was good, and his ultimate fate was perfect. Because I saw that coming a mile away. And the other guy, the Captain Boat Propeller, that was pretty good too. But yeah, it's pretty standard revenge porn, and like I said, I liked it. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say I liked it, but I do. It's not a movie I'll watch again.
Yeah.
But there's going to be 35 more of them, I think, just because of the way that it was going. But yeah, Scott, what did you think?
I'm like shocked because I didn't realize that was Kevin James. I got to go back and watch some of it now because I'm saying to myself, the guy looks familiar, but I think it was the beard and mustache that threw me. I like this movie. I told my brother-in-law, it's like John Wick for grumpy teenage adolescent girls. Yeah, I felt bad when the first dog died, but that gave her the incentive to just go over the top. I loved it because it was what it was. It wasn't John Wick. It didn't have the budget of a John Wick, didn't have the budget of a Mission Impossible. It was a B movie about the girl getting revenge on these assholes and doing it in the most gross, bizarre way she could think of. I loved it for that. So, to me, like I said, it fulfilled its expectations for me.
Well, and Joe McHale, he played kind of against his usual snarky daddy issue character. He was more of a straight guy in this.
Yeah,
it was good to see that, but go ahead.
It was so good because I usually watch like one movie on Monday, the next movie on Tuesday. I watched them both back to back. It was so good.
So did I.
Yeah.
Today, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Make
not
no
a bad
mistake. Becky is a psychopath.
Yes.
She is crazy as a shithouse rat, this girl. And she does pull that off pretty well, but there were a couple of times where I was like, yeah, you're trying too hard.
But I think that was the purpose. I mean, it was supposed to be over the top.
Yeah.
But there is just, like, is Amanda Brugel, she's such a phenomenal actress, and it was like she was just kind of wasted.
Yeah, her part wasn't very big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, like I said, there were some, I guess, gaps in the story for me, like that needed to be more. But I mean, with Becky, because we're going to segue into the second one, there was no redeeming of the character at all.
No.
With that relationship with the girlfriend.
Right.
And I didn't really like that. I felt like there should have been something there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Tina Kevin Jackson tonight.
I was wondering who Kevin was calling a stud.
I thought Kevin was talking to me, but
he's got to change his name off the YouTube. Okay. Well, the guys that directed this, or two guys that directed this, they did that movie Cooties. You ever see that with the
Yes.
and Bushwick? So you can kind of see that both those movies are brutal in parts. You know, so this carried on their trend to have brutal things happen in their movies.
I didn't mind the brutal. I didn't mind that the kid was a psychotic, but I just needed a little more. It needed to be fleshed out more. And like, I mean, I really didn't like the dog stuff at all, you know. But I mean, the thing is, and just this, you don't take a dog to a gun to a knife fight. And I think that was, the poor dog.
But see, I saw that as part of her, that she was so upset when the first dog died and she wouldn't leave the second dog. She could have easily gotten away, but she didn't. She stayed around to save the second dog. So, see, I took that as something, very positive about. I didn't see her as psychotic, which probably says a hell of a lot more about me than I did.
I was about to say, Scott, well, let's don't tell people outside the family that.
I just saw it as she decided to get revenge. And it's not like The Last House on the Left in 1970. You got to get a little bit more, like a Home Alone. You got to get a little bit more creative with the ways you get revenge.
This is the Jason Voorhees version of Home Alone, for sure.
I love the fact that you equated Home Alone with this movie, too.
Yeah, right? I wouldn't hire her to mow my lawn, that's for sure.
Well, I will say the creepiest part of the movie to me was when she did her little sing-song voice on the phone. At that point in time, whoever was on the other end should have said, "I'm out. See ya." There's a creepy kid on the other phone.
She was a kid, and they figured, hey, it's just a kid. Let's go, and we'll just take the kid out easily and bring her back and do the whole family. And then she was like, nope.
See, I kind of felt bad for the big, tall guy because he was trying to redeem himself.
Bro, he killed kids.
I know he did. And then he well, I'm not going to do this again. I mean, I know he had to get it at the end, but I love the way she did it too. Just
well, and for him, I'm going to say, Rich, that I felt like that just kind of showed how much power the Kevin James character had over him. He did not want to do that to children.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but he was going to let the mom and the girlfriend and her son go. And I mean, there was a lot of really interesting things that were happening. And like I said, it didn't go the way I thought it was. I'm not going to hate the movie too much, but it did surprise me.
Well, that's what I said. I didn't hate it. I actually enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
It was it's just another slasher film. Yeah.
Somebody cried. They didn't like our show. They cried. Do you see it?
No.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a thumbs up, a heart, and a little unhappy cry face.
That's because we're talking about a dog that died in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Right. At least that's how I'm taking it.
So what are we going to give the first Becky movie? Hadley?
I'm going to give it a 3.75.
Okay. Rich?
I'll give it a 3 for all the reasons I stated.
Yeah, I agree with Hadley. 3.75.
I'm going to give it a 3. I liked it. It's a solid 3. I liked it. I don't think I'd watch it again. But I would say, hey, you want to see a slasher movie with a kid? Check this one out. You may love it.
Fred's got a big dog bark.
Fred's all pissy that
Fred's
we
barking at the show.
So let's move to the wrap of Becky, and who wants to give out the plot on this one? Rich?
Scott?
No,
not me, because I have words. So
not me.
Okay, so 2 years later, Becky's run away from home, and now she is living with this elderly black lady who is delightful. They have a very good relationship, believe it or not. Becky's got a job. She's working at the sock hop. She's got a little outfit that's really cute, and she picks up the wrong guys. Well, she doesn't pick them up; they pick her up. But she pisses them off. They follow her home, and the wrath of Becky begins. And it starts off with the spoiler alert. They kill the little black lady that's taken her in, and that was it. Becky goes batshit again, and
She goes full Becky.
get him, Fred. So that's what's going on in this one. It's same revenge story. This one had, what was it? What's his name? It's
Sean William Scott,
or as I know him as Stifler.
Stifler, exactly.
So I had a big issue with this one because they did not even use the same kind of dog. So not only did they use a different dog instead of 2 years later, which maybe they couldn't find the dog, maybe something happened, I don't know, stuff happens with dogs, but it was a totally different breed. And when I watched it, which was before we were even scheduled to watch it, I was complaining to my friend, oh my God, I can't believe, do they not think that we even know the difference between the dog breeds? So anyway, those are my words on that. They can't even get the dog breed right. But I think they said in the first movie that it was a cane corso, and this was a mastiff. So it was a big difference for those of us who love dogs. Anyway, it was a good flick. It was fun. I wouldn't watch it again. There's a lot of elements I didn't like about it. But what did y'all think?
Well, now, I didn't think this one was as good as the first one. Just my opinion. It's directed by a totally different crew. It's funny these movies have two directors. I like Sean William Scott. Always liked him since the American Pie movies. I think he's an underrated actor. And it's another comedic actor as a bad guy in this series.
He directed it, didn't him and Lulu Williams? No, that's
Matt Angel and I think Suzanne Coote, Coote, directed this. So, just two different people that did a lot of TV. It looks like they did a lot of TV work. The Lincoln Lawyer and some other things. So it's totally different. I don't know about the writers though on this. Lulu Wilson's back again.
Oh, so Sean William Scott was executive producer alongside Lulu Williams.
Okay.
Wilson, excuse me, Lulu Wilson.
Yeah.
What else has she been in?
Becky. I know she was in Becky. I'll tell you.
She was in one of the seasons of The Haunting. Yeah. She was in Modern Love.
Picard.
50 States of something.
Of horror.
Star Trek. The Glorias. Worm. The Clinic. Sharp Objects.
So somebody's reading off an IMDb page.
Oh, Cop and a Half. She was in Cop and a Half. And she was
in Annabelle and Ouija and a bunch of the Millers.
So you've probably seen her floating around at something.
I guess so. I saw Annabelle.
She's pretty young.
Yeah.
This one, it just wasn't as good. The beginning part, the bad guys were good. Like those guys that walk into the diner she's working at, and they're just assholes. Just complete. Well, you got the one guy that's like, hey, let's not do that this way, whatever. But the other two guys are just assholes. And I thought they played assholes good because you just hated them, especially when they knocked off her friend. Yeah. But I just didn't think it was that good. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. And that's me. Hi, folks.
So, did you see Becky? Because if you saw Becky, then this is the same movie. At least Becky has a sort of a trapped feel to it. where she can't really get away, and then she's like, you know what? I don't want to get away. I want to hurt these assholes. But honestly, at the end of the movie, she's doing this to save the girlfriend and the kid. Period. Otherwise, she could have run. But in The Wrath of Becky, this is all about revenge. And she goes on the offensive after these guys kill her friend and steal her dog, who got thumped on the head by a baseball bat. I wasn't really crazy about that. Dog is threatened like 10 times in the movie, too. So they're not okay with that. They just bug out right now. But like Alan said, this wasn't nearly as good as the first one. That said, it's the same movie. It's literally the same film. It's another slasher film about how this young girl can kill these older guys who needed killing. They were assholes, and they were more than just assholes. They were militant douches intent on killing people, and she kind of went in and screwed that up. And the end of the movie, she gets sort of taken into custody by a governmental entity that wants to hire her, which you could see coming a mile away. And the reason they want to hire her is because, as previously mentioned, she's friggin' nuts. So she's very good at killing people, and she doesn't really mind doing it.
She has no conscience.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly setting up for part 3.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I love the agency that wanted to hire her, too.
Yeah, very good. I know a guy.
Yeah.
Well, this didn't have the humor or the quirkiness that the first movie had.
But they shot for it. They tried it. They tried to get the humor and the quirkiness, and they just screwed it up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if it's the different writers and the different directors. Well, it's probably different writers to different directors. You know, if they would have had the two from the beginning and the writers from the beginning movie, it probably would have been a little better movie. I don't know. That's just armchair quarterbacking there. But what do you think, Scott?
No, I agree with you guys. It was nowhere near as good as the first movie. The kills were fun, but the plot itself, the acting wasn't as good. The writing wasn't as good. I'm going to rewatch some of the first one to see, oh, yeah, that is Kevin James. I don't think I'd watch this one again. But I definitely will watch this other sequel if she's doing this for the CIA. So.
Got to stick with the homies.
Yeah.
Well, I will add that I read that, like, for inspiration, the writer watched Kill Bill. And so I was thinking, well, that must be where the jumpsuit and all that came in. That's like a nod.
What was that? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
What the heck, Rich?
What was the friggin' jump? What? Why would she have, hey, look at me, I'm in a big red jumpsuit in the woods trying to hunt people?
Because the bride wore a jumpsuit in Kill Bill.
No, I know, I understand that. I get it, but what? Are you crazy? That's the only way to get yourself killed if you're in the woods. You put on some woodland camo, and then you can smoke the guys from 100 miles away with a crossbow. But no, I want to dress up in a red suit.
Chasing her through the woods. It was easy for him to fall into the trap.
Yeah.
Well, I totally did not like this in any way, shape, or form for the dog.
Yeah. Oh.
I was concerned about him throughout the whole movie.
So
I've heard that dog's gone Hollywood since this movie. So
yeah.
Well, it was a different dog.
Yeah,
They had to get a star for this one.
He's got a contract with Spuds McKinsey. He's taking over for Spuds McKinsey.
Oh.
He's uppity. He's okay though.
So, what would you give it? Did Scott? I mean, none of us really.
3.
3.
Yeah.
Rich.
And that's for the kills.
I'm going to downgrade. I'll probably go with a 2.5 on this one.
Alan?
I'll give it a 3, but not a solid 3. Kind of like, Balsa Wood 3.
How about you, boss?
I'll go with a 3 simply because I like the dog, but his role was very light this time around.
I told you he went Hollywood. He went Hollywood, Hadley, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping the dog would do a little bit more like the Wick dogs and like take out.
Yeah, I was wanting to see some bite action. I mean, what's the use of having a big, powerful dog like that if you're not gonna let it bite somebody really good?
Well, he did have some of that towards the end of the movie.
Not enough.
No, but it was fatal.
Well,
So-
oh, go ahead, Elena. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say. So I was curious what the peanut gallery thought.
Yeah, did you guys watch this movie? Ash, did you watch this movie? Landa, Max, Tony?
Tony liked it, I think. No, Max, we don't. It's just all for us in the here and now.
We thought about it.
But Max, if you
I
want,
tried.
But it's like trying to get us to do anything is like herding cats.
but if you want to go back, Max, and like write down all of the movies we reviewed and our ratings, we'd be more than happy to post.
Yes, we will. You'll have our undying gratitude. Isn't that enough? Is that enough to?
I have the movies in an Excel spreadsheet, but I don't have the ratings.
Yeah,
I
don't
tried
even
to
know
keep
how
up with
to-
them. I tried.
Hey, Tony gave it Becky a 4 out of 5 and Wrath a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
So he liked it a little better than we did. So, but Tony likes his blood and guts.
Yeah.
He does.
Well, there was that. I mean, the whole eye scene in the first one was pretty tough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got an issue with eyes, man, and that was well done. That was a little body horror shit for me.
Yeah.
No, that was pretty good. That was worth watching the movie. Actually, that scene. There'll probably be a third one if they make some money off this one. I don't know how this one did or is doing. I didn't even know.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Harry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Mike Lewis is saying that it's not free yet. No, Mike, we try and do a new movie that's just been released, as well as one that's been out for a couple of years, and then the live streams or the streaming stuff, the series. That's kind of our format that we're doing. So.
But it was only 99 cents. So.
Oh, Becky, yeah, Becky was, yeah. It
Well,
was.
Becky is streaming on Showtime, I think.
Oh, that's right, Showtime and was it Paramount or one of those something? It was another streaming right too.
Yeah. Well, Paramount Plus, I think now it includes Showtime.
Yeah, you're right. It does. It does.
But
That's
I
right.
had watched Wrath of Becky a couple of weeks back just because I wanted to watch it. So let's go on to the one that we're all wanting to talk about.
Oh my God, that was great.
How far did you guys get?
I watched the whole thing in 2 minutes.
I'm 5 in. I'm 5 in.
Adley, you finished it too, right?
I did. I finished it.
We could talk. You could talk. That's fine. The end to it. Tina.
No. I would suggest if we mostly talk like the first 5 episodes now, and then we can do the next 5 next week.
Well, I'm going to have to look and see what because I binged it. It's all kind of run together.
Yeah.
10 episodes in total.
Well, episode 5 is where it deals with where's that place?
Hold on. Yeah, no one knows what we're talking about, so set it up.
Okay, we've got Twisted Metal, the series. It's based on the 1990s video game of apocalyptic road warrior-ish action. And so Peacock has made this into a series, and it is a whole lot of fun. It stars Anthony Mackie, the Falcon from and Captain America. I guess he's going to be Captain America in the Avengers movies. It's got Stephanie Beatriz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Was she in Orange is the New Black?
I don't know. See, I've never watched that, so I don't know.
I looked her up on IMDb. I don't know anything she's been in.
Have you ever seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine? She played Rosa, the cop.
No.
Great character. If Brooklyn Nine-Nine's great. If you like Andy Samberg, it's a hilarious series. Will Arnett.
She's phenomenal.
She's a great actress. She is.
Yeah. And you have Will Arnett playing the voice of Sweet Tooth, the killer clown.
I love him.
Yeah, it's a great voice. This just follows this apocalyptic setting. Anthony Mackie is a milkman, which are guys that deliver things from point A to point B, and they get paid that way, and they have a expiration date on their lives. Thank you, Tina, because I love you too. Because the job's so dangerous. I'll let you guys talk, but that's what I'm throwing out there right now.
I was not a PlayStation person. I didn't play games.
Thanks,
So
Landa.
I'm coming completely from a person who loves apocalypse films, shows, and this was just what the doctor ordered. It was gritty. It was fun. It was, kind of tongue-in-cheek humor, and it was just, I can't say enough good things. I really enjoyed it. I was kind of concerned that the clown was going to scare me, but well, he does, but he doesn't.
Not scary.
Yeah, it's much more scary than Becky for sure. But oh my God, it was great, and I just have to recommend everybody effing watch it. It was great.
I concur.
Yeah.
I think I don't. What happened in the 5th episode? So I don't go past it.
They're in Topeka.
Okay. Okay.
And they separate. They're separated.
Okay. So I never played the game, but I know what it was about, and I thought I did. I thought the whole thing was like an arena game where you drove around and just shot other vehicles with your vehicle. I guess that wasn't the entire game. I was informed the other day, but the milkman or the milkmen are these people who deliver things back and forth between the larger walled-off cities. There was an apocalypse where fire rained from the sky, and it was like 20 years ago. And now the milkmen, like I said, they run things back and forth between the cities. But in between the cities is a wasteland, and it's that wasteland where all the fun happens. So Anthony Mackie delivering a package, and he's delivering one to New San Francisco, and the ruler of New San Francisco, who is Nev Campbell, tells him that he needs to go to Chicago, get something, and bring it back. I won't wreck it for you, Alan. You need to see it. It was really good. But the comedy in this it's just great. Anthony Mackie, he carries this innocent, but he doesn't really know too much about people and life. He knows all about the life in the wasteland, but he doesn't know too much about people. And it's just the way some of the things, the deadpan things he says are really good. I honestly think this is his best role.
You're right. Yeah, and a lot of people don't like him, but I like him as an actor.
I don't know why.
I don't either. I think it's personal stuff. Great, Chris. Good to see you again. But I think it's personal stuff. But I like him as an actor, and he carries this thing a lot.
He does.
His character in this, is I'm John Doe, and he's got that little toy license plate that you can buy in tourist place that says John Doe. That's his milkman license. And in all the 90s references, because it stopped in the 90s when this apocalypse happened. Yeah. So everything's referenced to the 90s, like the video game.
And the music is awesome.
Yes.
For us old folks.
Yes.
The soundtrack's great. Hayden Church is in this movie, in this show, and he plays a cop. He plays he's sort of an apocalypse cop, but he's not a good
Agent Stone?
Agent Stone. He's a bad guy because
he wasn't a cop. He was like a mall cop.
No, he was an actual cop.
He was a cop. Yeah.
No, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because everybody called him a mall cop.
Yeah.
So he's in this show, and he's great. He plays an excellent bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend the show. I mean, giving out numbers on the show is, well, we're only on episode 5, so we don't want to do that yet. But overall, I would say this is an excellent show. And if you haven't watched it and you can watch it, you should.
Well, and let me tell you guys, we were going to do it like one episode a week, but we all binged it. So I think Alan was the first one to watch 5, and the first 5 altogether. And then the next thing I know, I asked Rich, and he'd watched every episode. So me and Scott were like, "Well, I guess we're gonna have to twist our
It was
arm."
like heroin.
Yeah.
I was addicted from the first second. It was great.
Oh yeah, it was fun. The only reason I didn't finish it up is because we had let's wait till it's not till there's no chaotic stuff going around, and then we can watch it and enjoy it. That's the only reason I finished it. But Thomas Hayden Church, great bad guy. He was good in Tombstone. Remember him in Tombstone?
Yes.
He was one of the clowns, right?
Well, he was. Remember him he was Lowell in Wings.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
I love Lowell in Wings. Yeah.
He's very versatile.
Yeah, it's good to see him used in this way, because
Yeah.
you hate him. You really, and I don't know who the actor is that plays Stu.
He was great too.
Yeah, you feel bad for Stu, and his buddy turns on him, joins the police force right away, and turns his back on him, and then he hooks up with.
Oh, I didn't realize that Will Arnett was the voice of Sweet Tooth.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's a great. The physical and the vocal are excellent together.
Well, what's also great is the comic actions of the wrestler who does Sweet Tooth mixed with the voiceover. I mean, those two are they're perfect together.
They are.
I love this story. It is post-apocalyptic. What was the name of it? What's the name of the main character?
John Doe.
John Doe.
John Doe was told, if you go and bring this particular thing back to me here in San Francisco, the ruler of San Francisco, you can stay and live in this luxury city rather than be out in the wasteland. And while he goes, he runs into Quiet, who is they're perfect together.
Yeah.
He does nothing but talk. She is quiet. And then they run into Stone, who's the cop. And what I love also is throughout the series, they give you the backstory of them. You find out why Stone is the way he is. You find out why Sweet Tooth is the way he is. Sweet Tooth is the episode when you get to Vegas. It's funny. I fell in love with that character. And then there's the two cops. They used to be cops. They join up with Stu. And then, one of them is just a nice guy that can't do all this shit out there. And the other one will, he'll kill people to make it happen. And then they introduce you throughout the series to so many other fun characters. I'm not... Fred! Go lay down. I'm not giving anything away, but the great thing is when you get to the last 2 episodes, Fred, go lay down.
Fred's got words.
Fred's yelling at the cat. The last 2 episodes, they bring everything together. It's great. It's funny. There's tons of blood and gore. A lot of action, good humor, great character development. Story is done well. I fell in love with this. I watched 6 episodes last night and then 4 this afternoon.
That's great.
Okay, so Stu is played by Mike Mitchell, who y'all might remember from the Tomorrow War.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He looked familiar. All right.
Okay.
He was
but yeah, this was phenomenal. I mean, this is what I had kind of hoped that The Last of Us would be like.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing that there's this much rich storytelling in a video game. And we have actual writers who are not making cohesive 90-minute movies, but they've made, and it's it's like a bump of endorphins. You watch 20 minutes of these, and you just want to watch the next because you want it again. You want to get on that ride and go. It was great. And if you like apocalyptic fiction, survival, urban survival stuff, this is going to pump your juices up because it's phenomenal.
It's a lot of fun. The part where he wants to live in San Francisco in the community there reminds me of Land of the Dead, where John Leguizamo, he's doing the dirty work for Dennis Hopper, and he says, "Well, you can live here," and then they screw him over.
Same.
So
and that's not a spoiler either, because you find out pretty much right away that Nev Campbell's full of crap.
Oh yeah. First episode.
Yeah, the fake baby and the fake husband.
Yeah, exactly.
Jello.
I will warn you. Well, I shouldn't say warn. It's not a spoiler. It is left with cliffhangers. There's definitely going to be a second season on this. I know that, and I'm so looking forward to it.
I hope so. I mean, the four of us seem to love it, and if that's the case, we're an eclectic mix of what we like and don't like. I think, everybody is going to love this show.
Yeah.
When you guys watched it, the last episode, did you watch it through the credits?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So watch it through the credits.
Yeah.
Watch it through the credits, yeah.
Okay, I'll probably finish it tonight.
And the characters themselves, they're well done. They're well developed. You get the background stories, why they are the way they are. But, oh, my God, Sweet Tooth is so... You want to hate him. You want to be terrified of him, and you eventually fall in love with him.
Honestly,
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, I loved him. I thought he was so good. I was thinking like Stu. Look at the friend Stu's got.
I can't wait for Stu to get whacked. When they break into the outpost, the first outpost there, and he saves him. I can't wait for him to get whacked. By Sweet Tooth any moment, but he didn't. He made
no
a new
spoilers.
Friend.
Landa only saw us one episode.
Oh, sorry, Landa.
Hey, Alan.
Spoiler alert! Is that too late? Sorry, Landa. You don't know what I'm talking about anyway. So this is fun. It's a good recommendation. I really dug what they did.
So I'm curious, comparing it to The Last of Us. What are your thoughts?
It's just blows.
Because they're both based on video games.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm just curious.
I may not watch Last of Us if it comes out for a second season. I can't wait for the second season, the one this comes out. It is better written, much more action. They still do great character development. You still get to like and not like the characters and know what they're about. And, in the last couple of episodes, when they wrap it up, sometimes you feel bad. Sometimes you're like, yes, that person got what they deserved. But Last of Us, no.
But they're two different. I mean, even though they're based on video games, there's two different beasts.
Very different.
Twisted Metal is just a fun time. And The Last of Us is let's thought provoke.
Exactly.
And so sometimes you want to just have. Sometimes girls just want to have fun.
And I mean, who can't enjoy arming your apocalypse road vehicle with machine guns and rocket launches and blood missiles?
Yeah. Especially when your apocalypse vehicle is an ice cream truck.
Yeah. I never played this video game, but for years, it's been out for what, 3 decades?
Yeah.
And I've seen, that Twisted Metal cover or whatever with the clown and the ice cream truck. And they really brought that to life.
Yeah.
Awesomely.
Yeah, and Will Arnett and the big wrestler dude, they killed it.
Yeah. I do. This is highly watchable. It's addictive. If you're an apocalypse person, it's addictive. You like to chuckle, it's addictive.
Yeah.
Well, Rich, I want to hear your thoughts on comparing it to The Last of Us.
All right, so I really want to love The Last of Us. There were a couple of scenes in that show that were just fantastic. Acting is next level. It's really good. But the show itself, and I kind of knew this going in. The show is not what I wanted. It's not fair to not like the show because it's not what I wanted, but at the same time, tough. It's not what I wanted. I wanted a zombie show, and that is not this, or this is not that. The Last
That's
of
why
Us.
you write. That's why you write the books you
Right
write.
there, you go. So, The Last of Us is a television show about a dude that kind of has a kid to watch out for that he doesn't particularly care for, and then he falls in love with the kid, and vice versa. They fall in love with each other. Like dad daughter type of thing. And it's about their relationship. That's what the show is about. It is not about zombies. They're in the background. They're cool as hell. The zombies are totally cool, but they're not in it enough. It's because it's not about them. Twisted Metal. What you think you're going to get is exactly what you get. You're going to go into the show saying, well, it's going to be apocalyptic, and now you know that we've said it. It's a comedy thing. It's funny as hell. There's a lot of funniness to it. No comedy in The Last of Us, but you're not going in there for that. You're going into The Last of Us looking for a zombie show, which you're not going to get. So that's my comparison, and I think Twisted Metal is by far the better show. I could stand not seeing the second episode or the second season of The Last of Us, which of course there's going to be because it made tons of money. I'm gonna cry into my pillow if they cancel Twisted Metal.
Well, apparently they are. Last of Us has not been renewed yet.
Yeah, It will be.
Yeah.
Oh. It was big.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching it with the person I watched it with, but that's the best thing I can say about it.
The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's just about those experiences then.
See, I was on a couple of pages and I was reading through the comments. The people who played the game loved it. But they all said the game wasn't a zombie game. It was more like Fallout. It was people trying to survive, rebuild society. They loved it because they loved the game.
Right.
Those of us that, were expecting like a new, better, updated version of The Walking Dead were very disappointed.
So, The Last of Us has been renewed. There's definitely going to be a second season. I'm looking it up.
Okay, good.
Now. So I thought the same thing, Scott. But yeah, there's no official word yet on a creative plan for season 2, but the Hollywood Reporter's recent cover story, showrunners, blah blah. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it'll be a while because all this Hollywood nonsense going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. There's been sort of the big name moneymakers have been granted permission to be scabs. So the big shows can continue to be produced. They can make the big money. The actors can make the big bucks. The studios can make the big money. It's the lower level actors and writers who have to maintain the strike.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
A hierarchy.
Gee, hypocrisy in Hollywood?
Right.
No.
And I hear even some are working over in Europe. There's some series, a couple of big name actors joined just recently because they can work over in Europe because they're not on strike.
Yeah.
And it's a European program and all that. The BBC.
Y'all are ruining my night. Let's don't talk about this.
See, they need to look into our works.
That's right. We need to write a movie is what we need to do, or a series. That's what we need to get.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I want to say before we get off air that everyone who has not subscribed to the Weird Realities newsletter needs to go and subscribe to it. There are always some good articles, but Mr. Restucci has outdone himself with a great ode to, I think, ammo this time.
Yeah.
So I know you gun nuts will probably really enjoy that. Alan's got a really good review. There's always fun stuff in it, and I think Scott's got something. Have you sent what you're sending to Morgana yet, Scott?
Let me double check. I sent something to Morgana that I was supposed to send to someone else. I got to double check with Morgana.
Uh-oh.
I have not been for the past 3 months. It's amazing. I even remembered that I was supposed to be on tonight.
Was that photo you were going to send me?
No, you already got that photo. You liked it. You gave it 7 hearts.
You know, leopard print's good on you.
I know, isn't it? Especially with a tight dog.
Hey, when's the Weird Realities men's calendar coming out? You know, we took all those photos. When's it coming out?
That's what we should do. We should do a Weird Realities calendar. Every one of us, like in a bikini or a thong at the beach.
No.
We're not that kind of weird. That's not the kind of weird we are.
Apparently some of us are.
That we know of. So, so far, it sounds like it's a 5 across the board for Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say I would go as far as a 10.
Yeah,
Wow.
fantastic.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Best show I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. It's on Peacock, folks. Streaming on Peacock. If you haven't watched it, jump on and watch it. It's well worth your while.
It's no Ted Lasso, but it hits me in a lot of the same feels. It's fun. It is, it's just a fun watch.
It's a different type of show than Ted Lasso.
Very different.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm also a huge Joe Pickett fan. Anybody who hasn't seen Joe Pickett, you need to pick that up. Also on Paramount, I think, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The thing about that show is it was on Spectrum as one of their originals.
Yeah.
And it just kind of languished there. You know, people that had the app could watch it, but anyone that didn't have Spectrum couldn't watch it. So they did that show a great disservice. But Paramount picking it up, I think because the book series is so popular too, that, there's going to be a season 3. So, that's awesome.
Well, I love some Joe Pickett. It is a very wholesome. You can watch it with anybody in your family, and there's no worries for anything. But that doesn't take away from the quality of it. It's incredibly well done.
Right. If you liked Wind River, the movie Wind River, especially this last season right here, you'll really like this part.
If you like Longmire, you will like this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, getting back to Twisted Metal for a second, it's very violent. There's a little bit of strong sexual content, and there's a lot of swearing. So might not want to watch it with your smaller children, but
it is not for kids.
But the taller ones are okay. This is height based.
Yes, for sure.
If they can ride a roller coaster.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
Good. Yeah, that's good. Because what episode is the sex porno?
Whichever one you're watching tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll make sure my little one's not watching. I'll put her in the other room.
If there's a scene with a ball pit, get her out of the room.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so next week, what are we doing?
I have no idea.
I don't know what I'm doing tonight.
I just follow you guys.
Okay, well, let me pull up something. I've got some stuff somewhere. Hold on.
Also, look for that show while Hallie's doing that. Curfew. It's on. If you can get the Spectrum app, get it and watch the show. It's 28 Days Later meets Death Race. Sean Bean, Billy Zane. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun.
What is it?
It's called Curfew. And it's on the Spectrum app, if you can get that. It's another one, a Spectrum original, really good, but it's just sitting there because no one has Spectrum anymore.
Well, we've got to come up with a new series because, we'll do part 2 next week, but
Right.
I had this scheduled for 8 episodes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
So, Alan, next week is your recommendation week. And the new movie we were going to watch is Talk to Me.
Okay, that's streaming somewhere free too. Or if you have it, Paramount, Peacock, one of those.
We'll find it.
Or it might even be on Tubi. But I hear good things about this one, and I'm really excited to watch it.
Hold on, I'm pulling up. And it is got Let's see.
A lot of horror sites have been touting this as a decent movie, so I'm kind of excited to see if it is.
How many episodes of that curfew show are there?
There's like 8. It's a British, it's a British show, so like 8. Not too many.
We could do the new Walking Dead series.
I think we'd lose viewers.
Yeah. I will admit, I watched and enjoyed the 6 episodes of Dead City with Negan and Maggie. I'm not even going to bother with the other 2.
No, it wasn't bad. You knew what you were getting, and it was a little more violent, which I liked. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you, Scott.
Well, it's not like I'm not going to watch it.
Well, you can tell us, yay or nay, Rich. Would you watch those?
So it's the same show.
Yeah.
They need to get back to where they were in the first season. The first season, and even the second season, it was all about terror. Everything was really scary, and the undead were the antagonists. And now it's just, let's get to the next bad guys.
Yeah.
It's all about, people on people, and it's just it's not a zombie show anymore.
It's not.
It's good guys versus bad guys, and let's throw in a couple of zombies.
It might as well be an EMP show,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because it's
I can't find where it's on.
It's on. I know, Hallie. I know it's on some streaming service that's either you have it or.
Are we looking at Talk to Me?
Yes, Talk to Me. It's on.
I might have to redo our list because I think that I got off track somehow.
Is this the European? Is this the British one?
I don't know.
No, it's Australian.
It's Australian.
Oh no, this was from 2007.
Yeah.
No, I can't even find it on the. Oh, wait a minute. No. According to Plex, it's not on any streaming services right now.
Man,
Who the heck is Scarlet?
Scarlet, he meant Scadley.
Like y'all just had a party in here. Like,
we did. We did. It was a party show.
Yeah.
Galley's got some loose morals, so
I haven't watched it yet. I'm scared to.
You'll never talk to me again.
If it's not streaming anywhere, then I thought it was, but you said it wasn't, Scott. So
and I can't find it. So
usually I go to Plex because Plex will tell you, even if it's not on Plex, it'll tell you where you can find it. And I went just Talk to Me 2023, and it said it's not on any streaming services.
Right.
Well, usually when there's a new release, it starts streaming about 3 months later.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it depends. Like with it being Australian, that kind of throws a hitch in there. But I'm kind of off because I thought that Indiana Jones would be streaming by now, and it's not. And that was kind of what we're supposed to watch this week. So I'm going to go back through and make sure that I've got the lineup right. So pick what y'all want to next week, and we'll watch it.
Okay. We'll let you all. How about we'll let you all know by what's today? Thursday. How about by Saturday? Is that good? Somebody?
Good for
We
me.
can do it by Friday so they can watch it over the weekend.
Okay. Yeah, Friday's great. We'll let you know tomorrow night. It'll be posted Facebook or whatever, whatever. And we'll let you know. We'll get something rolling so y'all have time to watch it.
All right. And I'm going to give a shout out to Weird Kid Finley Jones. Today's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Finley.
And I guess that's it for tonight. We're out of time. And unless y'all got something you want to mention, Scott, you're going to a con this weekend?
I'm going to be at a 2-day the Vermont Psychic Expo in Montpelier. If you're up there, swing by. It's the first psychic convention that they're doing at this facility, so we'll see how it goes.
Do they know you're coming?
They do know, yes. They should know. They're psychic. And Tuesday night on Real Talk, 9 p.m., we're talking to Ariel Hilton Ruiz.
Nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
I like that kid. He's
a good dude.
got some cool ideas going on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all know the deal. Tomorrow night on Weird Awakenings, the kids are up to crazy haunting ghost stories and stuff. So you won't want to miss that. I plan on being there, and I hope to see some of your smiling faces as well. And until next time, y'all stay weird.
Good night.
My kid.
Thanks for joining us.